If you spend half your life replaying conversations, imagining everything that could go wrong, checking whether someone is upset with you, or trying to make absolutely sure that you've made the right decision, you probably don't need another person telling you, hey, listen, stop thinking or stop overthinking. Because if you could, you would. The interesting question is, what is your overthinking actually trying to do for you? And this is where I, Manika Agrawal, an inner child and shadow work healer, want to take you beyond the usual advice, because sometimes overthinking isn't really about wanting more answers, it's about wanting certainty. And sometimes underneath that need for certainty is a nervous system that has learned to pay very close attention to what might go wrong. Not always because you experienced some huge, obvious trauma. Sometimes it was much more ordinary. Maybe you grew up in an environment where moods could change quickly. Maybe you were expected to anticipate what adults around you needed. Maybe mistakes were met with a lot of criticism. Maybe you learned that being good, agreeable, quiet, successful, or easy made relationships feel safer. So you became incredibly good at noticing the tone of someone's voice, the expression on someone's face, that pause before they answered, the message that hasn't been replied to, the possibility that you might have said something wrong to piss someone off. And here's the important distinction. Not all overthinking is hypervigilance. Overthinking can involve worrying, rumination, perfectionism, indecision, anxiety, and several other processes. But for some people, especially those who learned early to monitor for threat or disapproval, overthinking can become part of their broader pattern of threat monitoring. Research does show that childhood adversity is associated with increased risk for anxiety later in life. And hypervigilance is recognized feature of anxiety and trauma related responses. Done with the research part. And here's the good part. So instead of asking, why am I like this? Try asking, what am I trying to prevent from happening right now? Because that question can literally change everything. Okay, for example, I need to replay this conversation over and over. What are you trying to prevent? Maybe that they secretly dislike me. Or another one, I need to think through every possible outcome. What are you trying to prevent here? Maybe making the wrong decision. I need to make sure everyone is happy with me. What are you trying to prevent here? Conflict, rejection, disapproval. Suddenly, your overthinking isn't random, it's got a job. And this is where I bring in inner child work I do with my clients. Because sometimes the adult you is trying to solve a problem that actually belongs to a much younger part of you. A younger part that learned if I can anticipate what everyone else needs, maybe nothing bad will happen. Or if I don't make mistakes, I won't be criticized or shamed. Or maybe if everyone is happy with me, I'll be loved and safe in relationships. Now, I'm not saying inner child work is all about blaming your parents for having every thought that you have today. And it doesn't mean that every anxious adult has had a traumatic childhood. It simply means that our early experiences can shape the way we learn to interpret ourselves and the people and the world around us. And those patterns can become incredibly automatic. So, now, how do you actually interrupt that cycle? Here are my go to three things that I want you to try. One, stop arguing with that thought. When you're already triggered and activated, trying to intellectually prove that everything is fine can sometimes create another 20 anxious thoughts in your brain, and then it's just downward spiral. Instead, first notice and just tell yourself, I'm trying really hard to figure this out because something feels uncertain. This thought is different from something is definitely wrong, and that wrong makes you feel all flustered and unsafe. But when you accept that you're unsure of the uncertainty, you're just observing the process rather than immediately believing it and jumping right into the fire. Second, come back to what's actually happening. Look around you. This is one grounding exercise I truly believe in. Just notice all the objects that are green in color. I picked green because it's my favorite color. Bring yourself back to the present moment. Become aware of your body. Let your eyes gently glide through so you know that you're safe. Because when your eyes move around the room instead of staying locked inside your thoughts, you're bringing your body back into the present moment. You're not forcing calmness on yourself. You're giving your body proof that I can be gentle and calm and feel safe. Three, ask a younger part of you, one of my favorite questions. Ask yourself, if I stop thinking about this right now, what am I afraid would happen? And don't rush to answer it. Maybe the answer is they'll leave. Maybe they'll get angry. I'll fail. They'll realize that I'm not good enough. Maybe I'll be embarrassed. But now you're in awareness of the subconscious thought that's controlling your thoughts. So you moved from the symptom to the belief underneath it. And that is where deeper work can begin. Because the goal isn't to become a person who never overthinks. That's not going to happen. That's just unrealistic. The goal is to become someone who can notice, who can be in awareness, in allowance. Help me from my brain that's trying to protect me. Ironic, isn't it? And then decide, thank you, my wonderful brain, but I don't need to solve this right now. There is no emergency. And you've just built a very different relationship with your mind right now. And that's what inner child healing is all about. Not just managing visible patterns, but understanding the childhood conditioning, the learning, the protective parts, and the body responses underneath it. So you can begin responding differently in the present moment. If you recognize yourself in this, let me know in the comments and subscribe because we are going to be talking about the patterns that look like personality traits on the outside, but often make a lot more sense when you understand what is it that they're trying to protect you from. Signing off, and I'll see you around.